Hello and welcome to the Lounge Podcast, a weekly show that brings you news from the world of music, movies, art, culture, and food. I'm Pooja Chaturvedi, and today I'll be talking to Rohini Day, owner of the Indian Latin restaurant Vermilion, which is based in New York and Chicago. Rohini was in Delhi recently to host a cooking competition called Cook Off to select two chefs for her restaurants. The competition was held in Mumbai on 23rd April and in Delhi on 30th April and was judged by the likes of Shabana Azmi and Sharmila Tagore. We caught up with Rohini and the two winners to learn more about the competition and of course their winning recipes. Let's start with Rohini. Hi Rohini, welcome to the Lounge Podcast.
Pleasure to be here, Pooja.
Okay, so for a former World Bank economist and a McKinsey management consultant, how did food happen to you?
Food has always been a passion. Grew up in the Air Force and lived in over 12 different cities, experienced street foods all over and the cuisines of every part of India. And then in the US as a working professional, I was horrified to see that our cuisine was the one that was done least justice to. So I decided to go entrepreneurial, pursue my passion with a little bit of rage behind me, and here I am.
Okay, and when we talk about Indian Latin dishes, which your restaurant Vermilion specializes in, it's a relatively new concept and also sort of unorthodox combination. How does that work?
You're absolutely right. It's not only unorthodox, but it's provocative. It's almost heresy, and it makes everybody sit up and ask Indian Latin what? It's quite interesting. If I'd chosen to merge Indian with French or do just plain contemporary, no one would have questioned it. But rationales would be fundamentally lower. In the case of Indian and Latin, I've actually experienced Latin cuisine in well over 10 countries, love the food. There's a huge commonality in our cultures. We are both bold, vibrant people. Food is a big part of who we are, as is family, late night dining, family dining, boldness. And if you walk into marketplaces in Latin countries, especially Mexico, they're spitting images of an Indian marketplace. So things like tamarind, guava, corn, cilantro, coconut, plantain. You don't see this in the northern hemisphere. So we draw upon all of that, but then it's more provocative thing that is fun. So to take a classic Argentinian skirt steak and do it in a tandoori marinade to make our tandoori skirt steak makes it an amazing dish.
And I believe in this contest cook-off, you came all the way to India to look for two cooks who could make these sort of Indian Latin dishes for your restaurant. What was it that you were looking for in these people?
You know, I've been hiring in the West for the last 10 years now, and it's typically been Indian chefs with a Western culinary training, so either from the CIA or Cordon Bleu or Johnson & Wales, Cornell. And this time when I was looking for renewal and new talent, I thought, let me just go to the mother lode, the ultimate source of all talent, which is India.
Yeah, so talking about your two winners, what made them stood out from rest of the participants?
Ambition. It's translated in their dishes. It's translated in their presentation. So, for example, our Bombay winner did a whole metal rack up front with strips of coconut, fresh coconut hanging, encrusted with herbs and truffles as a palate cleanser. And then, instead of doing the one dish, which everyone had been asked to do, she did a tasting of 3 full dishes. Many things on a huge wooden platter in 3 small glass bowls. Dramatic and exceeded expectations. In the case of Delhi, where we just had the winner, his amuse-bouche was on little bicycles, absolutely charming. And then on his plate, the way he'd merged a rustic Punjabi dish, sarson ka saag and makki ka roti, with a classic Mexican quesadilla, and then taken finesse to a different level, was again hugely eye-opening.
Thanks a lot for talking to us, Rohini.
My pleasure entirely.
Okay, bye.
Bye.
Our next guest is the winner of the Mumbai segment of the competition, Asima Mamaji, who tells us about her winning dish, curry and curry, and her love for Indian cuisine. Hi Asima, welcome to the Lounge Podcast.
Hi, thanks.
Okay, so I'm assuming you must be thrilled after winning this contest. Tell us which dish helped you grab this winning title.
My dish was called Kerala curries, Tre Maneras, which is, I did 3 different curries from Kerala in 3 different ways with using 3 different seafood. All the curries are coconut based, so the alapi has a raw mango touch. So that was done with prawn ceviche, which I had marinated with raw mango juice instead of citrus juice, which is usually done in South America. And I had used drumstick marrow with avocado as the embellishment on top. The poli chatu was done with ghol fish, which is a local fish in the Arabian Sea. That was wrapped with banana leaf and cooked and served with a poli chatu gravy. and that had a guava and fig chutney. And there is a local sabzi called ambada. The English name is sorrel. I had used that vegetable with tamarind and jaggery, and the garnish was a sago papad, sabudana papad. And with the moili, which is again a coconut-based curry, I had done rawat, which is Indian salmon, which is crusted with rajgira.
Okay.
The English name is amaranth.
Sounds interesting. So were you always interested in making these sort of dishes?
Well, Indian food grows on us because we are Indian, but it's quite exciting to give it a Latin touches because the ingredients are so varied and at the same time so similar to Indian food.
All right. Okay, all the best. Thank you for
Thank you
talking
so
to
much.
us.
Thank you.
Okay. That was Asima's winning recipe. And now let's move on to the Delhi winner, Himanshu Saini, who won with his creation Sarson Ka Saag with Latin dishes. Hi Himanshu, welcome to the Lounge podcast.
Yeah, hi.
Congratulations on winning the contest.
Thank you so much.
Okay, so we already know Asima's winning secret. What was your winning dish for this contest?
My dish was sarson ka saag quesadilla with buttermilk foam. Now, the concept of my dish is that I chose to take two very famous dishes from, both the cuisine. So I've taken sarson ka saag, makki ki roti from India, and I've taken quesadilla from Latin cuisine. Now, in this recipe, I've used corn tortilla as a substitute for makki ki roti, and I've used sarson ka saag as a filling to the quesadilla. And I chose to serve it with a buttermilk foam. Now, I've given this amuse bouche to start up with, which was cherry tomato and habanero salsa on Melba toast. I gave that amuse bouche on a bicycle, so on a miniature bicycle, I would say.
Yeah, that sounds very experimental. Do you see yourself experimenting with your food or strictly stick to 1 million trademark dishes like tandoori skirt steak or lobster Portuguese?
Yeah, I love doing this kind of food. I'm not a traditional Indian chef. Although I love to eat traditional food, I know how to do traditional food, but doing fusion is what I've been doing for past 5-6 years now. So it is a kind of my forte. I just love doing fusion food. I just love, playing with different ingredients of different cuisine and cultures and just bringing them together on the same plate.
Okay, all the very best for that and thanks for talking to us.
Sure. Thank you so much.
Okay. As they say, food and fusion know no bounds. What are your recent experiments with food? Tell us about it at feedback@livemint.com. Have a good weekend.